Good evening. Welcome to another episode of Cinnamon Chat with Amita, Sri Lanka's first LinkedIn Live talk show. I'm happy to see my fans, my friends, my family joining from LinkedIn, and some of you are joining on Facebook and some on YouTube. Yeah, I'm simultaneously live streaming into three platforms. So let's talk about this talk show and also about the history, how I started. And today, as you already know, I'm going solo all by myself. And there's a reason. So, talking about myself, my name is Amita Gamage. I'm an executive coach and I'm a personal branding strategist. And I help B2B sales organizations improve their performance. I work with them, the sales teams, especially in the B2B sector. And the history, yes, exactly around maybe 45 weeks ago, I got LinkedIn Live, and then I started going on and adding value by way of bringing an expert onto the show. Now today, that expert is to be me because I'm going to talk about my journey with you, and then you can ask me any questions because there are a lot of lessons that I have learned along the way. I'm going to talk about those lessons, and then some of the lessons are technical, some of the lessons are general in nature, which can help anyone in life. So, if you have any questions with regard to any of the things that I do and that you know that I do, you can ask me a question. So, let's talk about the the start. Before LinkedIn Live came to Sri Lanka, they were rolling it all over. I was live streaming on Facebook. And then I was live streaming very heavily onto a Facebook group known as Sinhaling LinkedIn. I was live streaming not only to a group, also on my page. There was a page called Sales Guru. I was doing it with the help of my two kids, and there was good traction on Facebook. Then I saw that LinkedIn was rolling out LinkedIn Live facility, and I thought I would apply. And of course, I made sure my application meets all the requirements, and I was able to show where and where else I go live. And with all those details, it took about maybe 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. Suddenly, I got a notification, hey, your application is approved and now you have LinkedIn Live. In the meantime, what did I do? I started researching. I started looking at various documents, videos, and then I realized I was getting into a huge industry. So, uh, what numbers can we talk about when it comes to live streaming? By 2020, let me tell you the numbers. Very interesting. By 2020, live streaming industry was 50 billion US dollar industry. Even though at that time in Sri Lanka, not many were doing live streaming. Of course, there were gamers and there were others who were doing it. But on Facebook and on LinkedIn, uh, it was almost non-existence. Like there was no consistency. You suddenly see somebody comes, goes on live, and then later you see that person or that show disappears. And this is where I saw the opportunity. And then live streaming is continuously growing. I saw that industry. I saw that opportunity. 20 billion US, 50 billion US dollars only in 2020. And then out of that, 61% was live streaming. So there was like, if you take maybe stream various other form of streaming other than live streaming, like Netflix, right? Amazingly, by 2020, 61% of the revenue was coming from live streaming, right? So I saw there would be a future, and that there were not many Sri Lankans, other than probably the gamers, were utilizing or not becoming part of this massive industry. So that gave me an opportunity during the first lockdown in 2020 to explore this industry and to work on it, start something on it. Let's say hi to a friend, Rakshita, always pulling the most positive stuff in a needed time, a very needed time. Thanks. Okay. Thanks, Rakshita, for joining from LinkedIn. I have got some questions, of course, after seeing this, seeing my posts. Few wanted to uh, get specific answers to some of the questions that they had. I said, fine, send me the questions. I would discuss them during the show. And I'm going to do that. While you can still send me some questions live, if you have any questions, anything that you think would help you, even if you want to do live streaming in the future, you want to ask anything based on my experience, I don't mind sharing my experience, whatever the advice that I could give you, so that you don't have to do the same blunders. You could learn from my mistakes and take it forward. So the first lesson that I learned by going live on LinkedIn, especially. Of course, I was anyway doing lives on Facebook. The first lesson, I would like to quote Richard Branson here. What it says is, if somebody offers you an amazing opportunity, but you are not sure you can do it, say yes, then learn how to do it later. First say yes, and then find how to do it along the way. So when the opportunity came, I really didn't know how to do it. With my age, I'm not Generation Z or Alpha. I belong to Generation X. So my tech savviness was questionable. I was doubting myself. But then I thought, okay, what am I going to lose? There was hardly anything that I could lose. So what I did was I started, and then while doing this, I started learning. I mean, of course, even though I have watched so many episode of other streamers, so many advisors, so many YouTube videos telling you how to go about it, nothing like doing it. You can, I mean, it's like swimming. You can anyway learn everything about swimming by looking at a YouTube video, but until you put yourself into the water, you wouldn't know how to do it or what to do it. So what I did was I took the opportunity. I saw the opportunity. So this is very important for anyone who is listening. Scan your environment. Scan your environment and understand what is going on the environment. We always learn how to do SWOT analysis, and we always learn that opportunities are coming from the environment. But how many of us are actually looking at the opportunities in the environment, other than doing an exercise in a corporate setting where or maybe you are teaching somebody how to do it, or in the corporate setting anyway you do your planning sessions. SWOT analysis is a given thing. But in our personal lives, in our businesses, how many business owners, how many maybe solopreneurs sit down and try and understand what's happening around us and identify opportunities? It's very rare, right? But on this particular occasion, I saw it was coming, because I saw pandemic was closing all the shops, borders, and I knew it was coming, and I was getting myself prepared. And we were going through a tough time as Sri Lankans. So I wanted to reach out to a global audience. And I realized doing lives, live streaming, doesn't matter the platform, you just have to do it. Saddest part is sometimes people, call me and ask, Amit, I want to go on LinkedIn Live. So my next question to them is, so what are you doing with Facebook Live? Which is, you buy a phone, Facebook Live is a standard button on your phone. You don't go on Facebook Live and you are waiting for LinkedIn Live. Come on. You got to start with whatever you have. So we have Akam is asking, what equipment did you get started with? Okay, Akam, I had a 5-year-old Apple MacBook Pro. It was 5 years old. And believe me, it was reasonably good, but whenever I want to go for a green screen, it would say the performance of the processor is not enough. I have a green screen. I was unable to use the green screen. It was asking for more. And then, me being Apple fan, I wanted to buy another one. But at that time, with the uncertainty around, we are very careful with our cash. And this was not something that I was making money out of. At that time, live streaming was not giving me any money. So obviously, you don't want to spend too much of money on something that is not giving you money. So that was my machine. And then I was using my mobile phone's hands-free kit. And that was the first two hardwares, right? Now, of course, I have a professional Jabra audio setup, which supports me because I'm getting into my podcast, and you need great audio. And unfortunately, I don't think when I start compiling the sessions, I don't think I would get the best audio quality with the hands-free kit that I used to use during my maybe first few months of lives. So now today, yes, I'm associating with a brand here, and Jabra is giving me the best quality audio. I can, without any fear, convert this to a podcast, which is I'm in the process of doing. And then in terms of software, I was using Ecamm Live at the beginning. And then when LinkedIn Live came, Ecamm Live didn't have LinkedIn Live feature. So I opted with StreamYard. So even today, you see all what I do is on StreamYard. Let me change my banner. So here I go. I become the producer. I become the host. I do everything with a little support from my graphic designer. I have an amazing boy who is helping me with my graphic and the videos and stuff like that. So that's what I do, or that's what I rather did in terms of my setup. Just answering Arkham with his question. So talking about Sir Richard Branson, if somebody offers you an amazing opportunity, and then if you don't know how to do it, first grab the opportunity and learn along the way. So this is what I did. I asked for that opportunity, and the opportunity, came my way. I think if I'm not mistaken, the LinkedIn Live opportunity also told me you got to go live within the first 30 days, and you have to keep on going live. Otherwise, they pick and choose the people whom they give LinkedIn Live. So I had to anyway decide quickly and do it. And here I am. This is the 44th episode. So let me pull the other learnings, one by one. There could be many, but then I'm going to talk about maybe 7, 8 learnings. So I just took one. The most important thing is, if you have an opportunity and you may not know how to go forward with it, but first grab the opportunity and figure out the rest along the way. This is what we talk about entrepreneurship. Sometimes, entrepreneurs are the ones who first jump out of the plane and then figure out a way while flying down or while falling down. Yeah. So you just have to do the same thing. That's number one. And I spoke about the size and growth. In terms of growth, the live streaming as a video streaming overall, not only live streaming, video streaming is growing around 21% annually. That's an annual growth. So if it was 50 billion US dollars in 2020, you can imagine, and then it's gradually increasing. So my advice, everybody has a device and everybody has the capacity. There are great speakers and a lot of people who can speak well, and there are a lot of people who knows a lot of subjects, and this is one great platform for you to go and make a name. It's another avenue, right? Of course, if you want to do it perfectly, there would be a little bit of cost, but it's worth the benefits. The cost will always give you a benefit. It might take a while, but it is definitely going to give you a benefit. So why am I not keeping it to myself? Why am I sharing it? Because that's my duty on LinkedIn, on Facebook. My duty is to make sure that everybody around me learn from my learnings. I'm supposed to be creating value. Here I am creating value. So go and ask your friend to watch this, ask a question. I will always uh, tell you whatever I know. These are my learnings. So let me move on to my second or the next learning. So I had this how to start. You always have a fear because you are getting into unknown territory. And when you look at the global level, top level live streamers, when you look at the equipment they use, the graphics that they use, the backgrounds they use, amazing. You don't feel like sometimes getting into that area because you seems to be nowhere close. So what are the fears that I had? Sometimes overthinking. How am I supposed to do this? I don't have the expertise, right? So some of the things, okay, I haven't done it. I was thinking, I haven't done this. And I'm Generation X. How can I do it? Yeah. My English is not perfect, to be honest with you. I'm from a village. So I learned English after coming to Colombo. So I know I make mistakes. But then I later realized people are coming to my shows not to judge me, not to judge my English. They are coming here to absorb value from me. So my, there could be little errors, problematic areas in my language. That's okay. People are willing to forgive you. And then I was thinking, what would people think about it? I was camera shy compared to my two kids who are 12 and 16. They are not camera shy. They can just go in front of a camera and they can just speak. I didn't have that capacity. I had to develop it. I had to practice. Even today, if you have ever seen one of my videos on LinkedIn or Facebook, I can never take it at once. It's always, 2 to 3 times you try and then the video would come. It's okay. I only see that my first or second or third video which I have taken. And you only see the fourth one, which is a perfect one. Practice make you perfect, they say. So my English is not perfect. What would people think, right? My device is older. I don't have the perfect software. My graphics are not good, right? So then you need to pay for these services in US dollars. For an example, if you take StreamYard, and I'm paying $25 every month. Yeah, I don't know how long I would be able to pay. Yeah, So no immediate benefit, right? There's no immediate benefit. I mean, on the first few days, my wife used to ask, "Okay, why are you doing this now?" I said, "Wait, I'll show you. I just started." And she was casually asking me, "Why do you want to do this? Why are you doing this?" Yeah. So this is how you start something, and then because there's no immediate, we are living in a society where people want immediate benefit. They just want to do something and they want the value back immediately. And I don't believe that. I can hold on as long as it takes. And because my intention was to create value. I was not expecting any benefit, especially creating value to my LinkedIn family. I can't remember how many followers or connections or relationships I had, probably around 14,000. Today I have 17,000 plus. Very actively engaging audience, a quality relationships, not just numbers. Yeah. So those are some of the things when it comes to the benefits or the doubts I had. And then what kind of show is suitable? I didn't know whether to do a talk show or randomly come and speak like this. I didn't know. It's okay to pivot your business model. It's okay to pivot your show. That's perfectly all right. And I mean, you go back to any of those artists or musicians, look at the early pieces of content that they have done. Not so good. But then you feel proud later. Oh my God, I have done a lot. Right. So then the technical know how was less on my side. And then I had other doubts. Should I go as a company brand or should I go as an individual? Should I go with my personal brand or should I use my corporate brands, where I'm associated with few companies? And I decided it is more easier to get connected with human beings because especially in year 2020, people were locked down, people couldn't meet other people. So we wanted more human interaction. So as a result, I decided, okay, let me go live using my personal brand name. And that also later helped me to uh, to improve and enhance my one of my niches, that is offering personal branding advisors, personal branding as a service. I mean, for your information, I have clients from different countries coming to me and working with me for months and months in building their personal brands. And I don't have a certification from any university to say, hey, look, Amita Gamage is certified as a personal branding, diploma in personal branding or degree in personal. No, it's what I do. It's what I do with other people. Now, by now I have, hundreds, close to 100 personal branding clients, which I have helped. Right? Of course, I have charged. Some I don't charge. It all depends. So Arkham says, congratulations on the amazing journey. And we have Fazli. Hi, Fazli. Let's add value to time for the next lockdown if they impose. Be prepared. Yeah. I'm ready. Armed with all the equipment. And then Darshana, Vimalratha, thanks. You are a real value creator. And okay. I think I have a friend, Bang Sola. Hi. And we have Charaka. Charaka says, always a game change effort will be remembered. I myself enjoyed, along with many, your cinnamon shows of pure blue oceanic knowledge. 44th mark is just beginning, and your true humbleness has added a lot value to many, including me. Great work, Amita, with much blessings to you. Thank you, Charaka, for coming on board, accepting my invitation to first coming here and sharing your international business knowledge about how to take a product to 40 or more countries. And we had massive what can I say reach, and then there were a lot of questions. I think we couldn't even finish the show within 1 hour. And then again Charaka came on board with Shane Vanderwall, and we had a a beautiful musical uh, session here. That was about 2.5 hours. I think I don't know whether anyone has done a 2.5 hour long LinkedIn live session, which we did. We faced into a lot of technical issues, but then it was great experience. Yeah, and then there was a brand supporting us. So there are a lot of things. So let me talk about uh, the the fears that I had. And then the last one was, okay, finally I thought, okay, let me look at the possibilities instead of looking at all these fears and difficulties. Naturally, I'm honestly sharing my experience. I'm a human being. So not that I had those fears, I had them. I was thinking about difficulties naturally, but then eventually I decided to go live, uh, leaving aside all those difficulties. Okay, uh, let me also uh, let me also talk about what is the perfect time to go live. When I say time, I'm not talking about whether to go at 8 o'clock in the night or 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm talking about, you sometimes wait for a. I mean, had I waited for a good laptop, good set of headset, perfect software, perfect backdrop, green screens, ring lights, I wouldn't have gone live even now. But what did I do? Start with what you have. What happens is, your goal is progress. Your goal is not to become perfect. Perfection kills progress. I repeat, perfection kills progress. So if you are waiting for this perfect moment to start something, no, you are killing progress. Start with what you have. You will think, okay, people are going to say this, people are going to say that. Yeah, I went through the same thing. But then eventually I thought, so what? None of those people who are going to say this and that to you is not going to buy even 1 kilo of dal to for you to survive. So only you can do it. So who should do it? You should do it. No one is going to help you. So are you going to wait for the perfect timing? No, that's going to kill your progress. If you have been thinking about going live, and if you have not been going live for last 1 year, you have wasted 1 year, 1 year of learning. Had you started 1 year ago, today maybe you would have owned one of the perfect live shows. It's not only about live shows, live streaming. It is about everything. If you are thinking about writing that book, write it now. If you are thinking about moving from corporate life to starting something on your own, if you think that you need to wait till the time is right, you'll have to wait till everybody is vaccinated in this country. If you think that you have to wait till the COVID-19 pandemic is over, then you are wrong, my friend. We don't even know whether we would live tomorrow. We don't know that. So there won't be a perfect moment. The perfect moment is right now. Now is the time to start. So start now. That's my probably the fourth advice or the fourth lesson that I learned, which you could utilize for your benefit. Yeah. And then the next advice or the next lesson that I learned in terms of going live. Oh, what did I learn after going live? Another great lesson. What is that lesson? I'll tell you with another example. There are a lot of people who reach out to me, not only today, but even before. And they say, hey, Amita, oh, sir, Mr. Gamage, we are going to start a YouTube. channel. So I tell them, okay, great. What can I do? So generally they ask, what do you think? I ask only one thing, very specific. A year has around 50 plus weeks. Can you put out one video per week? And can you produce and publish 50 videos for an year? One full year, 50 videos. You know the response I get? Of course, that's simple. One video a week. That's not a big deal. We will do it. And then here comes 3 videos, 4 videos, and they are gone. And then you meet them again and you ask, hey, what happened to your videos? Yeah, I had this difficulty, I had that difficulty, I couldn't continue, I had work, I had this, I was not well, my partner didn't help me, my cameraman went abroad. So many excuses. So what do you think is the most important thing in social media? I would like to quote Gary Vee: consistency. According to Gary Vee, I love the way he puts it across. Lack of consistency is a massive vulnerability. I repeat, lack of consistency is a massive vulnerability. So, consistency can make a difference. What do you think that I have that others don't have in my age, where I go live like this? Consistency. No matter what, you could be sure that I'm here on every Thursday at 8:30 sharp. So there was only 1 week that was during Sinhala New Year, and I took a break. That was just 1 week. Everybody took a break, and then everybody was going all over because that was one small break that we all took between 2 lockdowns, maybe. So, consistency is very, very important. Have you started a project, a social media project, and then you gave up halfway, and it's time for you to go back and start working on it, launch it? Doesn't have to be a live show, it could be anything. Maybe it is about producing TikTok videos, maybe it's about your Twitter account. You are so passionate, but then for some reason you are not doing it now. So one of the lessons that I learned is, without waiting for the perfect moment, starting, and then consistency, no matter what. Don't you think that I have a frustration when there are not much of people watching the show, maybe due to various reasons, maybe due to lockdown, maybe shopping, so many reasons why someone is not coming to my show? Yes, but all what I want is one viewer, one person watching the show. That's more than enough for me to go. And remember, even though this is a live show, I get close to about 600 views by within the second day. So there are a lot of people who watch this later on when they can't watch it at sharp at 8:30. So whoever is watching, you can interact with me, ask questions, but then others watch it later. So it doesn't matter. Even if I have only one live viewer, I would do it. Even if I don't have a single live viewer, I would still do it, because now I can't disappoint my audience. There's a bunch of people who anyway come to the show. Anyway, they come and enjoy what I do. Today is probably only. There's only one time that I came like this before. Otherwise, every time I come here with an expert. Right? Last week I brought my coaching guru, who taught me coaching, and it was amazing to spend 1 hour with him again after so many years, listening to him, asking questions, getting answers on behalf of my LinkedIn family, my Facebook family, who are also watching it from Facebook, and those who are watching from YouTube as well. So if you have any questions, I mean, apart from the comments you make, if you ask me questions, somebody is going to walk away with a book, courtesy of Pick a Book, right? So brands are coming and working with me along the way. Yeah. So we have Chamira, who says, great work. Chamira, thank you very much. Thank you very much for coming and, commenting or asking a question whenever possible. Irrespective of the time or the location. I know you sometimes travel here and there, but then you still make it a point to somehow come and ask something. So thank you very much, Chamira, for coming and joining the show. So, what are the other lessons that I have learned? Okay, let me talk about one more lesson. What's that? That is learn, learn, learn. I'm sure I would have spent around 500 hours, during 2020 before and while doing my live show. During that period, I would have spent about 500 hours learning about how to do a live show, how to do live streaming. It's not easy. So, what did I do to learn? There are thousands of videos out there on YouTube. Then there are groups on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on Telegram, on WhatsApp. There are hundreds of groups of experts talking about how to go live or how to live stream. Now, whatever the project that you want to start, doesn't matter the project. In this case, it is live streaming. But what about the other project that you wanted to start but you never started, or you have started the project, but you are maintaining, or you are just doing it as an average project? How can you make it perfect? Learn, learn, learn. So there are, and especially after the first lockdown, the universities, libraries, and people who had knowledge on paper, on videos, released most of their knowledge, information, completely free of charge. So use them. It's freely available out there. If you use them, you can start your project, you can make your project a perfect one, right? So learning is very important. I mean, maybe around 1 hour ago, before I started this show today, I got myself registered to another live streaming, free live streaming masterclass. So if you are thinking about improving your next project, it's time, it's about learning, and learning. You got to be a lifelong learner. So immediately start going to those forums and start improving yourself, start skilling up. We also have a competition. We also have others who are probably doing the same thing. So how are you going to make yourself different from the rest of the crowd? Now, LinkedIn is rolling out LinkedIn Live worldwide faster. So more and more people will get into LinkedIn Live. More and more people will get into live streaming of games. We know in Sri Lanka there are great examples of young girls live streaming, and that will encourage more people to do it. But then there will be competition to get the attention of your target audience. Then you got to ask yourself, how am I different from the rest of the other streamers? What do? You research, learn. So you got to do all those things. And then That's another lesson that I learned. I have to keep on learning. So let's look at my next learning, right? Uh, Sometimes you have to learn to pick your battle. You have to learn to pick your battle. Now, you may know that I'm also very active on Clubhouse. Of course, last 2 weeks I had some additional work. Because of that, I was unable to go on Clubhouse for 2 weeks now, 14 days. But before that, I was very active. Another place where you go live, of course, it's audio only. I have 1,900 followers on Clubhouse. Again, another lesson. What is the lesson? Sometimes when you go live, people would comment you, people would want to pull you to unwanted things. And if you are not wise enough, you will go and mix with those unwanted things. Doing something live is not easy. You need to know what comments to pull to the screen, what to ignore, especially when you are with a guest. The guest will have certain speciality, certain experience, and sometimes some people who come to the show might ask the wrong question or might want to have a bit of an argument. You should know how to avoid. Pick your battle. And I used to do this for a very long time, right? So this is very important. Don't get into the wrong battle, because you are going to win a war. So picking the right battle is very, very important. Yeah. So that's another lesson. So we have firstly asking a question, how we keep focus learning while we have so much disturbances such as political aspect, uh, you have your money situation, and then no value to it, day by day getting worse, no essential food to buy. How can we focus? We trust someone and no worth. Please advise. Firstly, are you luckier than someone in Afghanistan right now? Are you luckier than someone who is in Myanmar right now? If you are talking about food or war or terrorism or situations, please compare yourself to someone who is worse than yourself. I mean, did I wait till government or president supports me to do this? No. We all can plant a tree. Please go and plant a tree. I know, firstly, as far as I can recall, you are still working, right? If you are working, no essential food to buy, I don't know. Wherever I am in, still the essential foods are there. But then if I want to look at the negative side of it, or the list of things that I don't have, then I can complain. I don't have this, I don't have that. The list could go on. But learn to be someone who can create possibilities. When Thomas Alva Edison started, he didn't have a light. Wright brothers believed that they could fly. I recommend you to go to TEDx and watch a 17 minutes video of Simon Sinek, where it says, start with why. Start with why. When you find your why, you will never find a list which says, I don't have this, so I don't have that. Your list will be empty. You can change the world like Mahatma Gandhi or Martin Luther King. I'm purely quoting from Simon Sinek's that 17-minute video of finding your why on TEDx. Please go and watch it, and you will change the way you look at things immediately. So that's my recommendation. Firstly, I hope you would do that. And we have Gayan. Gayan says, great work. Thank you, Gayan, for joining me tonight among the others who are commenting, who are asking questions. So I told you the lesson that I learned, the previous one, learn to say no, right? You will be engaged with so many people, and then certain engagements are not worth. You will say thank you very much, great work. You just move forward with your work, right? There are things that you do, and there are things that you cannot help to move forward. So first he says thank you for the advice. Okay, first to help you with uh, to do something great. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to send you a book courtesy of Pick a Book, right? That would help you move forward. So I will see if I could pick this specific book, which is, I would request Pick a Book to find this book, Start With Why by Simon Sinek. And then I will send it. So here today, it is firstly, because of the question he asked and the comment he made, he's walking away with a book courtesy of Pick a Book. So I would ask Pick a Book to specifically send you Start With Why, because we have been talking about it. Yeah. So that's another one. So then the next one is create value, value, value. Now some people ask, how to create value? Or how can I give everything what I know? I don't want to give everything what I know. Then people are going to just take it and walk away. That's my mentee. No, it doesn't happen that way. I talk about LinkedIn, social media selling, personal branding every week for 1 hour or 1.5 hours on Clubhouse. Every time a university asked me to come and do a session, I never charge money. If it is a social organization, if it is a university, I never charge money. But then if you ask me whether my training company has received a lot of training inquiries to do social media selling, yes. How to sell on LinkedIn? Yes. Those are corporate organizations. And how did they find me? Because I have created value here. I'm giving everything what I know completely free of charge. And one day somebody asked this from Gary Vee, and you know what Gary Vee said? Gary Vee produced a booklet. I can't remember the exact number, like, how to create 84 pieces of content within a day. And there was a document which he sent freely. A lot of people ask, hey, Gary Vee, you just gave away everything what you know, and it's on a piece of paper. Now you are done. Your competitors will do everything, and everybody will follow this. And then what else are you going to preach? He said, only 5% will practice what I preach. Rest will be back to normal. So just because you go and create value, not everybody is going to absorb that value. Maybe it's due to their attention deficit, or because they have other priorities. Now, if I'm to think that the whole world is watching this, no. Only a certain number of people are watching this, and then the rest will watch it tomorrow. So what do? I'll make a video out of this, and I'll be uploading it to TikTok and YouTube Shorts, also to LinkedIn and Facebook. For those who have not been able to watch the entire show, there will be a 3 to 4 minutes or 5 minutes of a tiny snippet that would be uploaded to my LinkedIn and Facebook. Of course, if you are not using TikTok and YouTube Shorts, you are going to miss again another revolution. So please, if you are not checking around what's going on around, you are going to lose a lot of opportunities. So let's hear from Gayan. He says, we learn a lot from the knowledge you push through the Cinnamon Chat. Wish you all the best for your journey. Thank you, Gayan. You are a well-wisher, someone who always comes and encourages me. Hey, great work and all that. So this is how you create a community. So what happens when you create value? When you share what you know completely free of charge, it doesn't have to be a live show. You can actually create videos and start sharing. What happens? There will be a community. First, you build an audience, and then that audience will become a community who would love your work. And I, in my case, I have Cinnamon Chat, an audience, but the audience who became my network, my supporting network, my close network, who is my community now. So whenever they hear someone saying, hey, look, we are looking for a coach, we are looking for a personal branding strategist, we are looking for someone who could do a training, wherever possible, when they feel it's suitable, they tag me. They send me a message to inbox. So I know all of you are expert. If you all of you are an expert in some area. So if you know something, why are you keeping it to yourself? Just type something and post. Just create take a photo and post. Make a video. Oh, I mean, that my son is a live streamer. Probably he's the youngest live streamer on LinkedIn. I really don't know whether it's in the world, but at least in the region, he's the youngest live streamer. I saw him talking to a university student from Hong Kong who has made cutlery edible cutleries. So, and I saw that he's going to go live with her in about 2 weeks' time. So what is he know? What is he doing? He knows a little. He's a 12-year-old kid. And that knowledge he's sharing is creating value. He's thinking how to create value to the audience that he has. He has around 2,600 followers or relationships or connections. And he wants to create value to that 2,600. So in that case, I think I'm not doing enough because I have 17,000 relationships here. So we have Dr. Lasit Gunawardena. Thank you, Dr. Lasit, for commenting and coming. I'm glad to have been able to share your expertise with our students for the past several years. And they, which is our students too, have provided great feedback on how your advice have changed their futures and their outlook on promoting themselves. Thank you, Amita. So, Dr. Lasit, you are someone who came here to my show as a guest and who shared your valuable knowledge on becoming a lifelong learner. Amazing advices you gave for more than 1 hour to our audience, right? My podcast is on its way. My blog is on its way. So, Dr. Lasit, wait for those advices. Those videos will be reproduced and put onto my podcast as well as onto my blog. I'm working on them right now, apart from doing all these things. So thank you very much for joining us today. So we have Dhananjay. So as you said, coming online may be open too much to the society. So isn't there be a chance to be too much open to the competitors? No, there's no limit. This is the opportunity. We are living in an infinite world. I would like to quote Simon Sinek again. If you rather play this infinite game, you would be playing in a blue ocean. I'm playing in a blue ocean. I probably charge a very high prices compared to if there's anyone who is competing with me. And I don't consider that I have any competition, because what I do is unique to myself. What anyone else whom you think might be a competitor, they are doing something else. So when you create value, your competitor can never be the same, especially in this game. It's so difficult. The way I speak, the kind of books that I read, the kind of content I create is so unique. I can never be Gary Vee. What he does is completely different. What you do is completely different. What I do is completely different. No single person, no two persons will have the same knowledge, same experience, not the same school, not the same backgrounds. They are completely different. So when you tell a story to drive the same point, it is received differently from the same target audience. So there's nothing called too much. You create as much as value. And when you wholeheartedly do it, universe is going to send things in return in tenfolds, right? I would tell you one of the best things that happened to me. I believe that I'm doing the right thing. Everybody considers the queen of videos on LinkedIn is Shay Roberton. And she has close to 700,000 followers. She's on my connection list. She has about 700,000 followers. She's considered to be the video queen of LinkedIn, and she is one of my first connections. This is the kind of world where the world is ready to come and talk to you, meet. And I see that happened. It's because I was just going and creating value, and I was going live. I was creating videos. Yeah. So we have Mark, like your passion and your belief, Amita, which I feel the greatest that I like to model and to others too. Mark is a great coach. He does NLP. If any one of you is looking for an NLP coach, go to Mark, and Mark will create value. Now, Mark is a trainer. Do I consider Mark as a competitor? No way. Mark can never do what I do, and I can never do what Mark does. Simple as that. Different set of values we create. Even if I don't do NLP, but I'm just saying, even if I start doing NLP tomorrow, I don't think I can ever do what Mark is doing. So be unique, create enough value. No one can take away your place, right? So let's listen to Fazli. I have seen you as exemplary to modern world. Your son is a role model. I was a positive person. Last few weeks was so disappointed with unexpected situation. That's why I asked different question. And by the way, I'm employed for Aban's group as sales manager. Yeah, firstly, it's easy to get disappointed. It's easy to get disappointed if you look at the bad things around you. Yeah. But then if you ask this question, how can I create value? How can I do something than becoming a complainer? We have gone through more difficult times. Like we have gone through war. We have gone through, different leaders, eras. We have gone through financial crisis, floods, droughts. Now we are going through pandemic. Haven't we survived? We survived. You only can survive yourself. No one else can help us. Am I doing the right thing when I wake up in the morning? Am I creating enough value for everybody? That's what should happen. But if I focus on the foods that we don't have, I can make a list. I can also make a list of foods that we have. I mean, that very chicken piece that you are craving, I am a vegetarian. So maybe you think, oh my God, there's no chicken around. And I say, so what? Because I'm a vegetarian. So what I'm trying to say is look at the possibilities. That's the most important things. And the world will be changed. I mean, I call it change in the lens. Removing this, the lens of, what can I say? I don't have this, I don't have that. That's a lens that you wear. And it's a choice. You can wear that lens where you feel that everything is missing in the world, to the possibility lens. What can I do? We always quote people who have created things out of nothing. We know nations who have created a lot of things out of nothing. If you want to blame the politicians, blame. Show me one person who changed the country by blaming the politicians. I don't waste my words by blaming the politicians. Why? I would rather go and teach a kid or do a completely free webinar instead of trying to change the politicians. No. Don't waste your words. So how do you create value? And if you create value, you are going to get back value. I mean, you create value not expecting anything, but then that's how the universe works. Whatever you create, bad or good, is going to come in tenfolds back to you, right? Last thing I want to talk about, the lessons that I have learned, is there are amazing collaboration opportunities when you start creating value. People will come behind you, brands will come behind you and talk to you and say, can we collaborate? Can we do this together? It's not about money. Some collaborations have monetary value. They'll say, hey, we'll pay you, do this. We consider you as an influencer, so to say. So they say, if you say this, I think the world is going to believe. I'm not talking about brand endorsement or becoming a brand ambassador alone. I'm also talking about good things. They say, Amita, can you do this? And my son is a brand ambassador to Child Action Lanka, who talks about, who make a voice to voiceless, that is underprivileged kids. So how did it happen? Because he was creating value. And here they approach him and say, hey, shall we partner? Would you like to help other kids who are underprivileged? So my son says, yes, thank you very much for giving me that opportunity to make a noise about these underprivileged kids. You are doing a great job. So there's a lot of partnerships, opportunities available if you start creating value, if you start going live. Yeah. So we have a comment from Dhananjay. Wonderful point of view. While creating the value, could you please explain with example how to consider existing product, competitor audit, and marketing audit? Okay, it's a lengthy question, Dhananjay. I would like to quote Gary. Monitor your consumers. Don't waste too much of energy on your competitors. If you have a unique product, if your value is superior, and if you know the pulse of your customers, then you are a winner. So more than focusing on your competitors, focus on your customers. Where are they going? What are they doing right now? What would they be doing tomorrow? For an example, TikTok became the most downloaded app in the world, surpassing Facebook. That's where your consumers are. I mean, taking a social media example. Now, you can't be winning by way of improving a candle. How far can you improve a candle? Sometimes you need to do disruptive things in order to create a light bulb. You can, how far can you improve a candle? There's a limit. So sometimes to create value, you need to know your customers better than your competitors. Don't waste too much of time by looking at your competitors. Naturally, you will follow the competitor. Instead, study your customers more than your competitor is studying them, and you can definitely create value. So as I told you, I consider that I don't have competitors, because what I do is completely unique in terms of competition. So competitors, they do their own thing, I do my own thing, and I operate in a blue ocean. Yeah. So with that, for today, I'm going to complete my session. So you will receive your book courtesy of Pick a Book. Please uh, inbox your details. And next week, of course, I'm going to bring a guest next week, and we are going to have a lot of discussions. And I'm going to create more value. In the meantime, if you're on TikTok, go to my TikTok channel. If you're on YouTube, please check YouTube Shorts. That's going to be trending. Yeah. And then I'm there too. And maybe the next few days or few weeks are going to be a little tough for everybody with lockdowns and other things. So please be careful when you are going around, and especially if you are wearing a mask, even in your office, don't open it even to eat. If you are eating, make sure that you are the only one in the lunchroom. And not please don't have tea and snacks with rest of the crowd. I do it when I go to office. So thank you very much. So we have Hasita. Hasita, thank you for joining. He says, brilliant session. Thank you very much. This is what I do most of the time with a guest, but today I decided to share my learnings and then encourage you to create stuff on social media, because we are going to go for a, probably just like what New Zealand did, we are going to probably go for a lockdown. And then what happens? All the decision makers will be online. And then what are you going to do? You need to create value. Yeah. And then I do it every week on Sunday. Come on to Clubhouse. You will hear me talking about LinkedIn Singaling for 1 to 1.5 hours. Join me. We have Hansani. I joined in the middle of the session. Thank you for encouraging us. The session is worth. Go to my YouTube. You will find the whole session over there if it is difficult for you to go through my LinkedIn. So everyone, thank you very much for joining. Okay, we have again, firstly, and your waves, please motivate us with your current situation. Motivation is like bathing. You got to motivate yourself every day. Just because you bathed maybe 1 week ago, you can't just ignore and say, no, I don't want to bathe. So motivate yourself every day and stay safe. Thank you very much. See you with another great episode next week. Come and join.